It was predicted to be a long, cold winter in northern Michigan, so we decided to build a backyard ice rink. After all, how hard could it be? Build a frame, lay a tarp, fill it with water, right? But we soon discovered that our level ground wasn't so level, and our waterproof tarp wasn't so waterproof. We struggled through those issues though, and gradually building ice layer upon ice layer for a period of weeks, we were able to cover the highest area of ground. Then all we had to do was create a smooth surface. Well, ice is a funny thing. A lot of factors like the temperature, the amount of water added, and snowfall can determine whether the surface is scaly or bumpy or glassy. A little snow left on the ice can freeze into small mounds, and that's exactly what I found myself dealing with. A mound that was about an inch higher than the rest of the rink. It actually crossed my mind to warn the kids with a sign that read, "Beware of rough patches," but I knew that spot would trip them up constantly. So, with an electric iron and a long extension cord, I ironed out that spot on the rink until that rough, high mound was gone. Building and caring for a family in a lot of ways is like building and maintaining an ice rink. We may think we know what we're getting into, but we really don't until we add water and the temperature drops. Even if we've prepared ourselves and done the research, sometimes you just have to learn as you go. Life, like ice skating, can be tricky enough as it is, and I fully expect that my kids will take their share of spills. Everyone stumbles from time to time. But one thing I can do is deal with the rough spots in my own life, the mounds of attitudes, habits, and poor choices that will not only trip me up, but quite likely those who follow after me. I've experienced this firsthand with unhealthy attitudes that I secretly harbored, things that I thought were really well hidden. As I began to see those same attitudes mirrored in my children, it was obvious that my sin wasn't just affecting me, it was tripping them up as well. Instead of putting up a warning sign that says, "Warning, don't do what I'm doing," I need to get out the iron, plug into God's power source, and let the Lord melt away the sins in my life that can cause me and others to stumble. When the prophet Isaiah was confronted with his sin in a vision, he was touched with a hot coal from the Lord's altar and told, "Your sin is removed." Hebrews 9 verse 26 tells us that Jesus removed our sin by sacrificing himself. I could never chip away the big mound of sin, but when I've called on him, Jesus has melted my heart many times and continues to remove things that make me and others stumble. Raising a family is tough, and nobody gets to skate through life on perfectly smooth ice, but I'm encouraged by the promise of Psalm 37 verse 24 for God's children, that though they stumble, they will never fall, for the Lord holds them by the hand. It's comforting to know he holds our hands and graciously molds us by melting those icy, rough spots. Early on in marriage, I discovered there was one job that I despised. Doing the dishes ranked number one on my I don't want. As a portrait artist, book illustrator, and art instructor, I often hear people say, "I can't even draw a stick figure, let alone something good." Well, I'm here to say, yes, they can. Drawing success is a systematic progression